Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back again with another video, and today Arsenal have done the cooking of their lives, revenge on Unai Emery and all the Arsenal fans that have been bum licking every opportunity they can to compare Arteta with Unai Emery. Arsenal finally get revenge on Unai Emery and Aston Villa, 4 goals to 1, as Arsenal hammer Aston Villa's 11 game winning streak, and Arsenal maintain their unbeaten record at the Emirates this season. With that being said, folks, Arsenal 4 goals to 1 today, with goals by Gabriel Magalhaes to start off Arsenal's score sheet, Zubamendi, Leandro Trossard with a goal that went to VAR, and Gabriel Jesus rises to shine against Aston Villa with a consolation goal given to Ollie Watkins on his birthday to make it 4 goals to 1 full time. Today's performance, we are going to break down positively as Arsenal goes 5 points clear of Man City before Man City take on Sunderland away from home at the Stadium of Light. Keep in mind, though, Sunderland have some players gone for AFCON. I think they're missing about 5 players from AFCON, but former Arsenal Granit Xhaka, we trust him to do us a favor and help us out as Man City play Sunderland. The pressure is now on Man City to get a result as Arsenal go 5 points clear on top of the league versus Man City Sharks, 40 versus 45 points, and Aston Villa at 39. Today's game was definitely a game of two halves, with the Gunners struggling in the first half to dig deep, our midfield getting wide open like a can of worms, or like Gal on OnlyFans. And Arsenal in the second half came out firing today. Positive result from the Gunners. In the second half, we looked like a whole new team, revamped. Odegaard looking like the player he was before the injury. Zubamendi getting things ticking in midfield, and taking Marino off was a good substitution in the game. And bringing on Gabriel Jesus, that really changed the game and upped the tempo when Jesus came on. For me, the heart and soul of this team was Declan Rice in midfield, with him being unavailable today, and to still get this kind of result against Aston Villa shows why we deserve to win the league this season, shows why we have learned from our past mistakes. Please keep in mind, last season, we were 2-0 up against Aston Villa at home, and we ended up drawing the game 2-2. This season, Arsenal's shown that we've learned from our mistakes. We've learned to keep the foot on the gas, up the tempo, up the ammo, and the only shot that Aston Villa had on target in the second half was the chance that Raya saved, and then the chance that went past Hincapié to Saliba, and Watkins scores a consolation goal in the second half. I hope Odegaard keeps up this momentum. He was looking like his old self today. But more importantly, Gabriel Magalhaes is what this team is about. Gabriel Magalhaes, you can see him everywhere on that pitch today, and he is a true leader of this team. He is a captain without the captain's armband, and this brother showed how much it means to him. Regardless of it being Ollie Watkins' birthday, he showed that this game means revenge, and really showed what Arsenal means. Arsenal, right from a corner, Gabriel Magalhaes scores and gets Arsenal up. First goal since he came back from injury. Death, taxes, and Gabriel Magalhaes scoring a header from a corner is the most predictable thing in football. But this was a deserving goal. Biggest set piece threat is Gabriel Magalhaes, and the King of Brazil is back in action for the Gunners today. Gets us off on the score sheet, and Arsenal hammer Aston Villa today. Sweet revenge on Watkins' birthday, and one to remember. I was quite nervous going into the second half of this game, and me and Moss, when we were doing the watch along on Moss's channel, I said, guys, I would bring Eze on. We're looking woeful in that midfield. Our midfield's getting cut open. Aston Villa is looking like they're getting on the counterattack very easily against us. They're having more pace and power in the midfield versus us. And you can see Onana and Tielemans double upping on Zubamendi. And Saliba is left alone to handle Watkins with 5 acres of land and nobody to help cover him. Saka was quite quiet today, and the same goes for Morgan Rogers. I think Villa's game upped the tempo a bit when Daniel Malin came on. that kind of changed the game for them. And Jurriën Timber again. Jurriën Timber doesn't put a foot wrong. For me, he's up there with Arsenal's player of the season alongside Declan Rice and Calafiori. Today's game, of course, we haven't heard what the extent of Calafiori's injury is, but I do hope he'll be back soon. Please keep in mind Arsenal's next game is on the 3rd of January, where we'll be playing Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth team, which drew to Chelsea today. That Chelsea team is just a dismay, especially defensively. They were quite poor. And there was an incident where Malo Gusto had a handball, but it wasn't given as a penalty to Bournemouth. Really, those two games, the Brighton West Ham game, were games of penalties, VAR checks, handballs, and you name it, back and forth. Big up to Moss for joining in the house. And hi, Sheik, how you doing? He says they got lucky. Arsenal didn't get lucky today. If anything, Villa got lucky today to get that consolation goal because Arsenal could have easily kept a clean sheet. Silly for us to give up that clean sheet. Sheik says, I'm still confident on City. Sunderland's ground, the Stadium of Light, is not easy to go to. You guys saw how we struggled against them, but let's see what happens. Jesus doing his post-match conference now. It's awesome to see him back on the score sheet after he came back from a serious injury. And today, made the bench was Kai Havertz and Ben White returning from injury. I think it's noteworthy to say that Ethan Nwaneri didn't make the squad. Now that we're seeing more of our injured players returning back in the team, you're going to see a lot more players being left out every game week, certain names being left out, even fan favorites, you could say. Big up, Moss. How you doing? Magical, easy win with Emiliano and Emery. All I want to say, Moss, is Emiliano Martinez's tears, whether it be for Argentina or whether it be for the Aston Villa in the Prem, this can feed families for generations to come. It's incredible to get one over Unai Emery, especially the Arsenal fans that do anything to compare Arteta to Emery. This one's for them. Hold it, suck on it, shove it where the sun don't shine, and all kinds of that. Big up to Mitch. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying this early New Year's gift from the Arsenal today. Brilliant performance. Magical win from Odegaard today. Brilliant. Gabriel Magalhaes. Brilliant. Trossard. Clutch player off the bench and in the starting 11. He got really a lot of joy, like a training session today, down that left-hand side. The left-hand side, Villa left quite open. It was easy for Trossard to make chances, even to Victor Gyökeres. I know Gyökeres, that first chance he had early on in the game, he could have easily scored it. He fumbled. Second chance he had, finally gets one on target, but still struggles to get through on the crosses that are being given to him. Big up Omar in the house. How you doing today? I bet on Arsenal to win at full time, Omar. I'll show you my parlay once I'm done the stream. How you doing, Omar, today? You back at work after the holidays? Arsenal get the job done on Villa. I told you we were going to slap them, Omar. And Arsenal are favorites to win the league right now. And personally, I do think it's our league to lose. Worldwide Gooner Elite says, think Ethan Nwaneri will go out on loan in January. I think so too. And if you saw my preview yesterday, I did mention that this is better for him in terms of his development. And please keep in mind, we loaned out William Saliba twice before he got his opportunity at the Arsenal. And it worked out well. Hi, Tobias. How you doing? Sorry about your result against Bournemouth today. Really poor defensive work from Chelsea today. And I heard Maresca was sick to do his post-match conference. He shied away from doing a post-match conference. After the first half display, I wasn't expecting that. Definitely a champions display from Arsenal. But there's still Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium, Liverpool at the Emirates to come, and we have to go to the Etihad still. So 19 games to go with the Etihad, Liverpool at Emirates, and those are the two big games left for us in terms of the top six fixtures. Arsenal, speaking of top six fixtures, Arsenal finally get a win over a top six team. I know beating Tottenham, but Tottenham aren't really a top six team. No disrespect to Omar as Tottenham, but it's the truth. Big up, Tommy. How you doing? He said, Ethan should have come on. This manager annoys me. Fantastic win today. He couldn't have came on today because he wasn't even in the squad at all. If you saw the bench today, he wasn't on the bench. I did mention at the half, though, in the watch along, I said that Arsenal's bench is looking quite stacked compared to Villa's bench. If you saw Villa's bench, they didn't really have much options other than Daniel Malin to bring on. And it was a quite quiet game for Morgan Rogers. It wasn't a game where he really got involved. You could say the same thing with Bukayo Saka. I thought they did well to shut him out. This was a game for Trossard, and he showed it. This was a game for Odegaard, and he proved it. People were saying to bench Odegaard and start Eze after the Brighton game. How are you going to drop Odegaard after that performance against Brighton? He was like his old self. Today, Arsenal raw dogged Aston Villa. Pause, but it's the truth. Hi, Wilson. How you doing today? Hope you're having a good New Year's Eve. Tomorrow, good games for New Year's Eve. And Arsenal starting off with 5 points clear of Man City going into the January window, where Arsenal continue to have 3 games a week, but 7 games, I believe, or 9 games in January. It seems like this is one for Arsenal to incredible performance, and Arsenal handed out belt to Villa this year like a WWE heavyweight championship. And for me, this is our league title to lose, because that second half we showed we have it in us, and we looked like a different team when we came out of the tunnel today in the second half. The game changed, making a statement win against Aston Villa when we drew to them at home last season. We've shown we've learned from our mistakes of being ignorant and getting our foot off the gas or getting too ahead of ourselves. But a statement was made today, and it was a brilliant win. Today was a game of the season for us, and Arsenal go 5 points clear. Thank you to the Arsenal today. Arteta got it spot on with the substitutions. Odegaard was beyond brilliant, looking like a captain as usual, and Gabby today phenomenal. Jesus back with the team scoring, and the Zubamendi and the chemistry with him and Odegaard worked out well. Raya, another good save he made in the game today. Brilliant to deny Watkins of the goal. I can't believe he saved that, Watkins. That was awesome. Saddam says a perfect Christmas gift. Yeah, Arsenal giving us a late Christmas gift, an early New Year's gift, going 5 clear of City. You guys know I went straight into the match review of this game. I didn't even cue the intro because I really wanted to get straight into the video. My player of the match today has to be between Gabriel Magalhaes and Odegaard. But I think I'm going to give it to Gabriel Magalhaes. He was everywhere we needed him to be, and he showed that he is the heartbeat of this team without Declan Rice. Again, a captain without the armband performance today from him. And Trossard, really good game today. He's been someone that's been so clutch for Arsenal this season. The people that wanted to send Trossard out on loan to Saudi are looking like fools and have egg on their face. Statement win by the Gunners finally against Unai Emery. Arsenal beat Unai Emery at the Emirates on home turf. That's what I wanted to see, and I wanted to see open play goals. You can't tell me we only scored set pieces and own goals, because today own goals didn't show up. Arsenal do score set piece goal today, but good goals by Zubamendi. Brilliant finish by Zubamendi's goal. And Saka finds Gabriel. Great goal for Gabriel Magalhaes. And Jesus threw from Trossard on the left-hand side. Trossard smashes it from outside the box. Gabriel Jesus takes a rebound and puts the cherry on the cake to finish off Arsenal's score line today. For me, the brilliant goal was from Zubamendi's finish. That was incredible. Raya, for me, he had a really good game today. In the second half, he didn't really have much to do. In the second half of the game, he had nothing to do except the one chance where he saved Watkins' shot, and then the goal that Hincapié got displaced and Saliba, between the two of them, and Watkins scores a consolation goal. Timber, brilliant against Watkins down the right. His pass to Trossard sets up Arsenal's third goal. Saliba, really good on Ollie Watkins, sliding in to prevent what looked like Watkins could have scored in that first half. And you're thinking, how does Watkins not score that? Saliba, brilliant timing with that clearance he made in the first half. For me, Gabriel Magalhaes is my man of the match. He went down in the first half, but today it was a game for Gabriel Magalhaes. He scores since he returned back from injury, his first start since coming back from injury. And finds Bukayo Saka from a corner and gets the Gunners on the score sheet today. Hincapié, I owe some apologies to Hincapié. I think today's game, he found the early cross from Gyökeres after moving from his usual center half role to left back. Strong tackle in the box to stop Jadon Sancho in the game from scoring. So I do have to give him credit for that. Big up to Anthony Herbert in the house. How you doing today? Great win. Gabby is our best center back by far. I always said this. Wilson says Gabriel was absolutely immense. This guy provides a certain calmness to our back line. Thanks, Static in the house. Appreciate you. As you guys know, I didn't tell anyone I was going live, but I thought I'd do a live video of the game. Zubamendi, he was really good today. Like, he was one of my 3 stars today. He was phenomenal. It's hard to pick 3 stars from today's game, but Zubamendi in midfield, controlling that tempo in the midfield, and Odegaard, exceptional today. Odegaard in that second half, poised and in control in the midfield. The pass for the Zubamendi goal and the duel he won before it shows how much he adds to this team when he's on his game. The cross he found gave Trossard the chance on goal. Really good performance from the skipper today, and it was a game for a captain's performance, captain's worthy performance. Gyökeres, for me, not a game for him at all. He didn't really get involved in the game. And you can't tell me he wasn't getting service like people tried to say in the Brighton game. He had a diving header early on in the game, but he skimmed the post. And the second chance he had, it was a good moment, but he still struggled. He made some good blocks in the game, but in terms of his end product, he's really struggling end product wise. I know it's getting frustrating with the Gyökeres situation. Hi Daniel, how you doing? You were right. We were gonna smash Aston Villa. I said we'd win 2-1, but we destroyed Aston Villa today. It was a really good performance, a convincing performance from the Gunners. And Norgard coming on, he comes on for Marino in the second half. Norgard, by the time he came on in that second half, there wasn't really much to do as Arsenal were already leading the game. It wasn't really an opportunity where I thought where Villa would come back into the game like last season when we drew 2-2 to them. And then Lewis Skelly, he was kind of caught sleeping for that Watkins goal and should have been marking the striker better. But he didn't really have much game time for me to judge him. But Gabriel Jesus, when he came on, it was an instant impact into the game. First touch of the ball, and he gets a shot into the corner of the net and gets Arsenal on the scoreline. Sam Greenwood in the house. Good to see you, Sam. Brilliant win for the Gunners today. And I know if you watch this back, you'll hear my apologies for Hincapié because he had a good game today, and you have to give credit when and where it's due based on each performance. That Emirates sign behind you is on a walk. To be honest, I think it actually might be. I haven't put a lot of my artwork up, but I should do that sometime. Big up, Jack. How you doing? Good win for Arsenal tonight. Yeah, convincing win for the Gunners, finally, against a top 6 win. That's what we were crying out loud for, and that's exactly what we got. 4-1 against Unai Emery's team that gone 11 games without a loss. Arteta should tell Emery good evening after the match. I'm really happy. Like, Unai Emery's tears and Emi Martinez, more importantly, those tears feed families to come, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm looking forward to the Bournemouth game. I think the Bournemouth game is one where we can make some changes into the lineup, rest a few players. It's not really pressure on the Gunners tonight, as much pressure as it was tonight's game, first versus third. The first half looked like we were the away team, to be honest, and it took a while for Arsenal to grow into the game. Midfield-wise, we struggled. Second half, we came all guns blazing. We looked like a different team. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of the mentality of this Arsenal team. And we have what it takes to win this title. Odegaard masterclass tonight, 100%, Sam. Odegaard looked like the player he was before the injury, and I'm so glad to see that he still has it in his locker. Said hello to the Tony Claude and Bargav. Yeah, I think they're still live, Moss, Tony Claude and Bargav. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had put the match review on your channel, Moss. I scheduled it quickly, and I didn't realize it was on your channel tonight. Green Grass, aka Grandpa, hope you're well. Hope you're well, Sam Greenwood. It's good to see you, and I'm looking forward to your New Year's show on Slags in the Dark tomorrow, New Year's Eve show. Odegaard played his socks out, my skipper tonight. Yeah, midfield wise, when we're missing Declan Rice, you needed someone in that midfield to step up leadership wise. And it's not really a game where you're relying on Mikel Merino to do a job in midfield. Mikel Merino, whenever we played him in midfield, he's not really lived up to the expectations that we need. Of course, he's not made for the midfield. I think he's a lot better up front as a striker than he's ever been in midfield. And Odegaard today, he stepped up and he helped us massively in midfield. All the passes he's picked out, the directness of his game, the controlling the tempo in the midfield. I always said when we signed Zubamendi, he's like a younger version of us having Jorginho. And the one thing I didn't like about Jorginho, he's a great leader, he's a good player, really good with his passing accuracy. But what Jorginho lacked was he didn't have pace and power. And with Zubamendi, you get the pace, but you don't really get the power all the time. Zubamendi was really getting shut out in that first half by Onana, and Tielemans getting doubled up on. And Timber was almost dropping into the midfield to help out with the midfield coverage, which I like to see from the Dutchman. Everyone bashing Odegaard not long ago. Moss never worried about his nephew. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tune in to your show and join the panel. Jesus might bench Victor Gyökeres if he keeps fit, 100%. And I'll even go one step further, Daniel. If Havertz had came on today, even if it was for a 10-minute, 15-minute appearance, I think Havertz would have scored tonight. And I still think Havertz or Jesus will put Victor Gyökeres on the bench, and I wouldn't be surprised about it. But that's the thing with Arsenal. When you're a team that's looking to win, you have to fight for your place in that starting 11. And that's what I want to see Victor Gyökeres do. He shouldn't automatically have his name in the starting 11. Today's performance from Victor Gyökeres, the game against Brighton, how many times are we crossing the ball to Gyökeres? You can't tell me he didn't get service tonight. He got service tonight in that first half alone, and he couldn't finish his dinner. It's worrying, it's concerning, and he's going to need time to adapt to the Prem. There's no fluffing about, there's no sugarcoating it, and unfortunately, it's a situation when we took a gamble to sign him. I also think the situation would have been the same with someone like Sesko. The only players that won this summer transfer window in terms of the striker market were Waltemade, and Hugo Ekitike. But hindsight is a beautiful thing. Like, in hindsight, yeah, it's easy to say that now, but we weren't willing to take a gamble on Ekitike. We weren't even looking at someone like Alvarez, who we could have at least tried for on the market. Big up Tyrell Gutter TV. I tuned into your watch log today. Bro, Tyrell, I remember when you were doing your preview, you said, guys, if you think we're going to keep a clean sheet against Villa, you guys are crazy. We were so close to keeping a clean sheet against Villa, but we had to give Ollie Watkins a consolation goal on his birthday, his dirty 30. But Arsenal, thank you for the New Year's present. That was a phenomenal second half. And more importantly, it's a long time since I've seen a convincing performance like that from the Arsenal in the Prem. In the Champions League, it's been different for us. You guys seen what we've done in the Champions League last season. And I know it's a different type of gravy when we're in that competition. We're still in all comps as it stands. And not long to go now till that FA Cup game against Portsmouth. I'm not worried about. That's a game where I want to see rotation. I want to see changes into the team when we're playing these domestic cups competitions. Later in January, we have to play Chelsea at the Bridge, which is the two legs of the Carabao Cup, the League Cup. Hopefully Chelsea don't fire Enzo Maresca by then. His future is definitely in the air more than Daniel Farke. Daniel Farke's been saving his ass recently with Leeds getting positive results, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin significantly helping out Leeds. I think he scored 6 goals back-to-back for Leeds in back-to-back games, and Mr. Tom, we're quite happy with your Leeds so far. I watched Sesko today. I will gladly keep Victor Gyökeres. Oh, man, Manchester United, how are you drawing to Wolves, 20th place Wolves? I know Man United, I heard they had a goal disallowed, But that's poor from Manchester United's defense today to allow Wolves to score on them at Old Trafford. Glenn Halder looks amazing for about 2 games. Yeah, you're right about that. Um, Watkins in a gunner. That is a gunner. That goal was just a gift. Yeah, consolation goal for Ollie Watkins. And man, that shot that Raya saved, I couldn't believe it. How does Raya save that? Um, and Jesus, in his post-match conference, he talks about how Gabriel Magalhaes changes the game. You could see the difference, and our back line gets comfortable when he's on that pitch. The guy loves to defend the same way that Gabriel Jesus loves to attack, and the game changed when these two players came on for the Gunners today. Arteta got it spot on with the substitutions, and Arsenal dominated today. We performance of league titles, deserving league title winners, and Arsenal giving you all an early New Year's gift. Ending 2025 on a right way, on a high. Going on to 2026, Arsenal take on Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. That's a game where I expect Arsenal to rotate players. Bournemouth are woeful. You saw what they done to Chelsea, but keep in mind, Chelsea defense are nowhere near as good as ours. No disrespect to Chelsea, it's just the fact. But tonight was the first game Unai Emery had lost at as a visiting manager at the Emirates Stadium in his career. He was thrashed, he was embarrassed, and Arteta schooled him. And I don't want to hear anything from the Arsenal fans that continue to dick ride Unai Emery. And I said it, and I said it best, and I stand by it, and I doubled down on it. In fact, Daniel says Big Gabby should be in the Ballon d'Or conversations. That's a hill I'll climb all day. Man, him and Timber. Timber for me is the best right back in the league. And I think the second best right back in the league is already at Arsenal, which is Ben White, who's not even a right back. He's a center back. But Chelsea, title pretenders, Manchester United, draw to Wolves, disappointing. Martinez is such a weasel, always faking injury and trying to con the ref. He needs a dry slap. He needs the appearance on Flags in the Dark, that's for sure, Sam. But tonight's game, my man of the match performance is going to be for Gabriel Magalhaes, but my player of the match is going to be Martin Odegaard. And then my 3 stars is Trossard, Odegaard, and Gabriel Magalhaes. These 3 players were phenomenal today and noteworthy performances. Without Declan Rice today, Arsenal got the job done. Aston Villa generated 0 XG until the 92nd minute against Arsenal when Ollie Watkins scores his consolation goal. And Raya didn't have much to do in that second half. I think I was doing more work than Raya did in that second half on that watch along with Moss. Trossardinho, best finisher and best ref. Yeah, Clement, the best ref, Moss. He got the award for the best referee this year. Big up, Static. Thanks for joining. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I am going to wrap up my stream, though, as I have some errands to go do. But Arsenal fans around the world, enjoy this win. And I know Anne Hathaway is smiling somewhere, even though it was only Dua Lipa, Martin Keown, and Patrick Vieira, I believe, at the game today, which was pretty cool to see. Arsenal get the job done over Aston Villa, all guns blazing in the second half, and more importantly, revenge against Unai Emery and Aston Villa, the result against Villa at Villa Park, where we conceded late in the game. This is a different Arsenal team, and Arsenal showed it today. More importantly, last thing I want to say is Trossard is such an underrated player and an underrated signing. He needs to get his cigars. Deservingly, you got to give him his cigars and his praise. Rice was missed, but so glad we could do this well without him. 100% Sam. And, I was really nervous, Sam, when I saw that lineup. I said, guys, we don't have Declan Rice. That's our midfield gone. And I thought we would struggle phenomenally. I thought it would be a huge issue. And, whenever we have Marino in midfield, it's not worked out for us. So I was really cautious going into this game. Big up, Bargav. I'm just about to wrap up the stream, though. I've been going live for about half an hour, and I have some errands to do. But your thoughts on the game quickly?
Yeah. They overachieved my expectations. I expected a draw, but surprisingly, the energy in the second half was brilliant. There was a good spell where we just got some really good goals. I mean, yeah, I know you're more happy than most about this game.
What about my boy Zubamendi? Party could never do that.
Good assist. I'm sorry. Good. He made a great run. Um, Gabriel, good, good goal. I would say the Jesus finish was my favorite uh, of the four, but it was good. It was a great way to end the year. Arsenal owed us a performance after the drab month we had. It's good to
Yeah,
finally end on a. It's good
convincing
to finally end
performance.
on a convincing performance. Unai Emery didn't shake Mikel Arteta's hand at the end of the game.
Good.
End of the game.
He
I
can
don't
suck
really
on a bag
care.
and he can suck on a bag of nuts. I hate Emery. This goes to all the Arsenal fans that still lick Emery's bum. Go do one. I hope we finally showed you that Arteta can beat Emery on home turf, and we done it. All these
Uh,
fans that still think Emery's better than Arteta, Emery this, Emery that. You guys forget the times where Emery was playing Torreira out of position and the Europa League matches again that we had with Emery. You guys forget that short-term memory, Arsenal fans. I'm not calling out anyone here, but if the shoe fits, you know who I'm talking about. I'm
yeah,
tired.
it was a
I'm
great.
tired. I'm sick and tired. Arsenal fans saying Martinez, crying over Martinez and Unai Emery. So a big FU to both of them. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Odegaard's back in action like a captain, and Moss can't be happier with the performance today. If you guys have a problem with Odegaard, you got to take it up with Moss. Um, and uh, and Moss ain't easy to deal with on that one. He had a captain's performance today, like before the injury. And credits to Yuri and Timber today. Didn't put a foot wrong yet again, without the help of Calafiori. I gave my apology to Hincapié already. And your man of the match for the game?
Gabriel.
Of course, me too.
At first half, he was stopping the counterattacks. The second half, he was doing good defensive work. Second half, got the goal. I mean, what else do you want?
Lots of love for you in the chat, Bargav, from Sam Greenwood and Anthony
Yeah.
Herbert.
Big up Anthony. Big up Sam. Happy early New Year.
Happy early New Year, Sam. Tomorrow night, Sam Greenwood's channel, Slags in the Dark, they'll be doing a New Year's Eve special, talking all things film and TV shows and wrestling, hopefully, on there. Great show. Thank you for tuning in. Bargav, any last minute thoughts on the game?
Yes, my last minute thoughts is, Arsenal have games where they make us believe again. Hopefully this time, whatever happened at halftime for that energy that came out in the second half, repeat it repeat it next year. I don't want any heart attack games next year, like they can be. And I'm hoping for some good silverware next year. That's my final.
2026, folks. If you don't already have your tickets booked, your ETA visas sorted, Arsenal dominant victory ends Aston Villa's run of 11 consecutive wins. Let me repeat. Arsenal's dominant victory ends Aston Villa's run of 11 consecutive wins. And that's Arteta to Unai Emery. Straight knockout like Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Arsenal stung Aston Villa at home, and we finally showed a convincing performance against the top 6 teams. I don't know if it's because he wanted to impress Anne Hathaway, but Trossard was everywhere we needed him to be today. And for a time waster like Emi Martinez, you're just a shit David Raya. So hold that. Arsenal brilliant today. Set piece goal. No own goals to show for it today, though. Hopefully he makes an appearance against Bournemouth. But I'll end off the stream with Martinez's tears can feed families for generations to come. I dislike him and Emery so much, so this was awesome. Starting 2026 on a right foot with Arsenal on a convincing win and great performance. We'll see you all in the new year. Bargav, you want to shout out your Twitter or socials?
Not really, but Happy New Year to everybody. There you go.
Happy New Year, everybody. We'll be live for a preview of the Bournemouth game on January 2nd before we played Bournemouth on the 3rd. I've already set up the watch along for the Bournemouth game, so please go check it out there. Thank you to Moss Sports World earlier today for joining me on the watch along for the Villa game. Moss and I both predicted a 2-1 Arsenal win. Nobody thought Arsenal would dominate a game like this in the second half. Whatever Arteta said to them or beat their ass in the dressing room, it worked. Big up Tony Claude Gunner TV. You already know where you can find him, TCG TV. If you don't know, get to know, because Tony Claude done a really good watch along today. You saw how fed up Tony was with the first half of that performance. Unacceptable by the Gunners. We look like the away team. And that second half, we showed what we have in our locker, and we put it on the pitch.
I will say big up to Tony, and he's gonna have 2 great shows tomorrow. So check both of them out.
I think Tony's having a show with Oregon Gooner tomorrow. I'm not sure if that's his show today or tomorrow.
I think it's like Dr. Seymour, and then Dr. Seymour is one of them, and then I forgot the other one, but he'll have 2 great shows tomorrow.
Big up Tony Claude, guys. Do check out Tony Claude Gunner TV. You already know where you can find him. Really good Arsenal content, unbiased Arsenal content. It says things as they are. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We are on the road to 12,100 subscribers. Thanks for 12K before we close out the year. Hope everyone's having a good holiday season. Some of you guys might have already returned back to work, but New Year's Eve tomorrow. Enjoy your New Year's. Stay safe, drink responsibly if you guys are drinking alcohol. Bargav's on this new fitness journey and trying to drag me along to it in the new year. But we'll see if I can hold myself accountable like these players do on the pitch today. I'll see you all in the next one. Please make sure to check out Slags in the Dark tomorrow on their New Year's Eve special. And Tony Claude Gunner TV. He has 2 great shows tomorrow for the Arsenal fans. Also, shout out to True Gooner and Tyrell Gunner TV. As 2 of my favorite Arsenal fan channels. Much love to both of them. Take care, everyone. Thank you for a wonderful show today. And tomorrow night, Moss Sports World will be live for hockey, as the Olympics teams will be announced for Team Canada and the USA. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Come on, you Gunners, and as Arsenal destroy and dismantle Unai Emery's Aston Villa, an 11-game consecutive winning streak. We'll see you all in the next one as Arsenal go to the Vitality Stadium to put bell to ass again. And I think by that time, Semenyo might already be doing his medical for Man City, which is a good chance that's the case. Take care, everyone. Please make sure to like the video, comment on your player of the match, your man of the match, and what was your favorite moment from the game today. Emi Martinez, cry more, and Unai Emery, enjoy this L. Bargav, you want to close out the show?
That's pretty much it. You said everything. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you all on the 2nd for a preview for the Bournemouth game. And with that being said, take care, everyone. I still think True Gooner and is live. I'm not sure if Tony Claude ended, so please check out the content. I don't know how to do this redirect thing that people do. Someone
you have to set it up. You have to set it up on there beforehand. So I'll tell you next time.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't do the redirect thing right now, but we'll figure it out for the next one. Thanks, Static, and thanks all my moderators and everyone for tuning in. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Take care, everyone. Adios.